Hello, everyone. I currently am trying to get 400 grams of protein a day. So I'm trying to put on a little more muscle. And in order to do so, you got to put down the protein. Like Emmerich says, 5 grams of protein per kilo, but there's 2.2 pounds per kilogram. I'm pretty safe with about 2 grams per pound of body weight, and I go off lean body weight. I'm about 215 right now. But if I was really lean, like really lean, I'd probably be 205, you know. So you're pretty safe. And if you only hit 350, as long as you're trying for 400, you hit 400 if the main thing is trying to get there. If I only get to 350 or something in a day, my cheat is I'll have a couple scoops of Fortigen, you know, before my workout or before I go to bed or something like that. And that comparative to eating beef or eggs is like probably another 40, 45 grams of protein, something like that. Um, but like right now, I had 14 eggs that I cooked up. I'm going to eat that. And then go to Aldi. I got a bottom round roast right here. So it was like 3.3 pounds. Um, you can see right here, I cut the fat off of it. So there was 11 grams of fat per 4 ounces and 23 grams of protein per 4 ounces. But this is pure fat, these chunks. God, if I weighed that, that's probably a good 6 ounces or something, you know? So this is just shy of 3 pounds of meat here. But I'm cutting the fat down. So now every 4 ounces, I'm probably going to get about 5 grams of fat and 25 grams of protein. So I eat this, and I'm going to get maybe 270 grams of protein, and that about uh, 80, yeah, like 85 grams of protein in the eggs. I'll just say 80 to be safe. And then I cook this roast all day really slow in beef stock. There's a little protein in that. But with this, I'm up in that 350 range. And then um, I'll probably have maybe some chicken tenderloins or some, sometimes I just drink some eggs at the end of the day. Uh, if it's, if I'm training, I'll throw some pineapple chunks in the blender with 6 eggs, blend it up and drink it. And now I'm hitting right around that 400 gram mark. But the biggest thing, guys, is the biggest reason, not, well, there's multiple reasons, but one of the biggest reasons that people don't put on adequate amounts of muscle is the diligently eating enough protein every damn day. And I hear it constantly from people like, oh, is that hard for your kidneys? No, it's not. That's all been debunked. When people are getting protein in their urine, the kidneys are already damaged. And it's usually from having high blood pressure and killing the blood vessels in the kidneys, and the protein would leak out. But again, humans for a million years, the ice age ended 12,000 years ago. For a million years, people lived on only red meat. Woolly mammoths, woolly rhinos, some of the things would fall over dead and freeze. You could eat on the things for a month, So they had the protein, extra protein. We cannot get fat on protein. It's physically impossible. Our body cannot convert protein over to any energy source at a amount that could be stored. So that's why we get the meat sweats. If you're eating a high amount of protein and you have extra that your body isn't able to absorb fast enough, it burns off as heat. Okay. So it's a freebie. And all the propaganda that the government put out there, that the food processing corporate giants put in place trying to villainize meat and make people buy their pulverized fucking starch and made everybody sick, that's all been debunked. We know now that the higher your cholesterol level, the longer you're going to live. Issues from cholesterol is from a sedentary, shitty lifestyle, eating too much oxidized cholesterol from burning the shit out of everything and deep frying everything, and having too much oxidative stress in the body, all these preservatives and carcinogens and processed sugars, even all this sort of thing is what and then you get the hardened arteries from a sedentary, shitty lifestyle, and that's where that collection comes from. If you're cooking your food properly, eating right, and getting adequate exercise to where your heart rate goes up and you keep those blood vessels good and pliable and stretchy, you're not going to have problems. That's like our good buddy Emmerich Delsig. That guy's 72 and he's in better shape than 98% of the human population. He eats 3 dozen eggs a day. 3 dozen eggs a day, and he has for fucking years. Okay? So we need to stop worrying about protein consumption. What we need to worry about is all these shit crops that people are consuming that are full of oxalates and things like that. All the kidney stones. I remember the doctors, they were taught wrong. It wasn't solely the doctor's fault, but there's enough information out there now. They need to start thinking differently. That's what caused things like kidney stones. All these oxalates and phosphates, preservatives, and shit they spray on crops to keep bugs off of them, things like that. They're consuming massive amounts of that stuff. So it's not the meat. Meat's our friend. Meat makes us live longer. If you go to my Facebook page, I just posted a study that was done worldwide analysis that in any situation, consumption of meat extended life expectancy, and these carbohydrate crops actually decreased life expectancy. And that's why when I eat carbohydrates just to replenish stores, once in a while I have a little too much, but it's not going to at least hurt you. I have some papaya, a banana, a tablespoon of honey, maybe a baked potato, something like that, or a cup of white rice. And you don't need a ton of it. These guys that think that they're bulking up and eating all these carbohydrates, it's not the carbohydrates that's causing the muscle to grow. It's the fact that they're eating adequate amounts of protein and they're resistance training and they're getting enough rest. They cut those carbs back and up their protein. They'll actually put on a little more muscle and stay leaner where they don't have to do the cut part for such a degree. And you can walk around with abs year round and feel good. First thing is to rewire your thinking and do everything right, right? Okay. So, if you're trying to put on muscle, honestly, the number to hit is minimum 1.5 grams per lean pound of body weight. Most 2 grams is what I would recommend. And that's what works the best for me and works the best for anybody that I train. Now, um, it is a bitch to hit that. As the muscle comes up though, it gets easier. Pretty soon you start wolfing it down. But the first few weeks, you gotta have some willpower and just put that extra dozen eggs down your throat somehow. And that's why, like I said, I'll drink them if I have to. Just get it down their neck. And um, just the saturated fats, we know, as long as we're not overcooking them and oxidizing them and ruining them, aren't going to hurt you so much health wise, but it's still going to make you fat. you know, so just eat as much as you need for energy and for some of the building blocks of all the cell membranes in our body, all the cells in our body have certain fatty acids and cholesterol. We need that sort of stuff for cell repair. But there's a certain amount that once you eat over that, all we're doing is accumulating body fat, right? All right. So hopefully this helps somebody. But if you guys want to put on some muscle, start putting the meat down. Okay. Um, I've had multiple clients that are like, Mike, I have a hard time getting more than 200 grams of protein, and they're a 190-pound guy. You're really honestly maybe just going to build some density and a couple pounds of muscle and stagnate. You got to jack that protein up. Even if you try 300 grams for a while, it's better than nothing, and that will get easier to eat, and then push it up again. You know, if you want it, you have to go get it. Just la-di-da working out and eating an average amount of protein, it's not going to do it for you. You want extra muscle, you got to eat extra protein. So, like I said, I hope this helps everybody out. I'll try to maybe, show some people some other cooking strategies I got. But like this roast, slow roasting it in the beef stock. I looked for some bone broth, but Aldi didn't have it in the beef. That was all sold out. They have a great price on organic bone broth. It's like $3.60 for a whole container of it, and there's 9 grams of protein per serving. There's 3 or 4 servings in there. Just the broth is going to give you close to another 30 grams of protein or so. And sorry, I had to swipe a message that just came across. So I will cut it off there. Gonna do some deadlifts today, get my hips and back conditioned better, and I will, maybe I'll put a video up of that. Until then, until again, talk to you later.